Hey everyone, welcome to Love Your Body podcast. I hope you are having an awesome Wednesday. I am so excited. We are actually on our final week of the Get Your Movement In challenge. So this has been a 10-week challenge. If you weren't following on social media or didn't know what it was about, basically what it was just 10 weeks of consistency from clients, from people who don't even live here, just like coming together, having an accountability group on Instagram where we talked, we shared everything that we're going through, food stuff, workout stuff, family stuff, everything, and got the opportunity to, continue to fight for what we want together. So it was really special. We had sponsors, Grab the Gold, I Relieve Therapeutics, Braid Babes, Nashville. Let's see who else. Be Ready PT, spray tan by Shauna, all in this, challenge, which was super cool. So basically the person who, it's not all about weight loss, the person who had the best average of muscle gain and weight loss, like so body fat loss, with the whole average of everything is going to win $500. And at this point, I don't know who it's going to be. I kind of have my assumptions because I have clients, checking in and stuff. And it's been awesome, but they're going to get $500 cash sent to them. And it'll be great. We're going to announce it at the Move Fit event, March 26th, at the Caldwell. So the Caldwell was a building that it actually was like shut down like in 2012, I think. And it was like a restaurant and it had like event venue above it and stuff like that. Well, this new property management opened it up and they have the restaurant at the bottom. And then on the second floor, they have this event space. And they asked me, as a Nashville influencer and a female entrepreneur, to have a Move Fit event there. So I'm really excited. You can find out information on my Instagram and the link in bio. It's the first one on there. It says Move Fit into Spring. We're going to have Dreamcatcher Pod will be there passing out things. We're going to have I Relieve Therapeutics doing massages. We're going to have Be Ready PT doing on-site PT. We're going to have a couple giveaways, and then we're going to be doing Move Fit, and then it's going to be great, and we're going to announce the winner there. So the challenge actually ends March 19th for them, so this weekend. So really excited, and we're gonna have top 3 winners. So it's like the first place gets $500, second gets like a massage and a spray tan, I think. Third gets the PT and like a free braid for their hair, then we'll adjust if it's the male winners or whatever. But we have male and female from ages, I think our youngest is 22 or 24 maybe. And then the oldest in the challenge is, I think, 60. So it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. Me and Blake have worked really hard with this. New people got free sessions in this. Like, I mean, it just has been really cool. So I'm excited to, announce that at the event on social media. So be looking out for that on my Instagram at Dani D Fitness One. And then all the stories from that day. But if you want to come out for it, would love to have you for Move Fit. Strong, sexy, athletic dance format, and just have fun and have some body positive fitness, in March, around this week of either before you're going to spring break or after, or if you're going on a trip or if you're not, this is the perfect little getaway that morning for Move Fit massages and mimosas. So really pumped up about it. And again, to finalize the challenge and see, but I will say, I'm sure everyone says this, but I like genuinely mean it. Like, we had 30 people in the challenge and literally nobody fell off. Like, everyone has been in it. Like, everyone has got their movement in, fought for what they wanted, and like loved their body throughout. Whether that was they worked out, 5 times a week, and some people worked out 7 times a week, some people worked out 1 time a week, whatever it was an increase and it was value added to their current regimen. And that is more than I can say for a lot of things. I feel like people do these challenges where they just like, you know, invite everybody and whoever into it, and then like 90% fall off. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't have no idea who's going to win. So I'm super excited. Um, and it will be super cool to see all that. So we'll be doing all that this coming weekend and tallying that up and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be epic, and I'm really proud of them. And we are gonna do a challenge like this again. Most likely, I don't want to commit any promises or dates, but I will say, like, it seems like we're probably gonna do the fall. Everyone's got lots of going on fall in the fall, and they're trying to get ready for Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that stuff or whatever. So I'm just kind of thinking, why don't we do that then and kind of give summer time for you to really focus on loving your body? Now, again, I still want people to work hard in the summer. You're going to burn more calories. It's hotter. Get out and get movement in. You're going to be doing more things most likely than what you were doing in the winter time. So you might as well capitalize on it. A lot of times people are always like, oh, winter bodies and that'll get you like shredded and stuff like that. I'm like, no, like I usually do my best in the summertime, like doing workouts outside and just feeling, like going on hikes and walks and all that good stuff and just feeling, that sweat and just feeling strong and just having fun with it. So anyway, it's always nicer when the sun's out, like let's be real. But yeah, so super pumped up about all that. And I just want to say that there are so many things and these opportunities that, I'll keep sprinkling in that if they come to fruition or happen, it will be such a testimony to not just like what I'm doing, right? Not just me, out here preaching, love your body, fight for what you want, get your movement in, but to everyone who has ever been involved, whether you have worn a Dani D Fitness shirt in a Kroger, whether you have, come to a Move Fit event or Find Your Fit Festival, or you have done just anything, it is one of those where it will be, it will really show me that like, man, this community of people have been so awesome and so great throughout. And we will continue. I got this dog. I love it. I can't. We got a dog in the studio today, Trent's doggy, and she is just loving all my positivity. And she's like, play with me. Anyway, but yeah, so it's just funny to look back and reflect and be like, man, never would I've ever thought me taking selfies and me like, doing events or talking about my positivity, like that anyone would really care, honestly. And I never did it for people to care. It was just for people. I mean, it wasn't even for people, it was for myself, but it was just one of those moments of like that it was actually to kind of go against people. It was when I first started because they were so negative about my body or they so shamed me or verbal abuse or body shaming or whatever. And, I was talking to someone the other day and they're like, oh, no one's ever said those things to you. And I'm like, I have had some horrible things said in my face before. And like, which is so funny that people will sit there and tell me like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, you were not in my upbringing. You were not at college with me or high school. Like you do not know the things that I went through with just having a larger body frame, and I'm not saying it was a hard life, but it was a great life, but sprinkled in with so much toxicity and so many things that made me doubt myself and made me feel less than, that I never want anyone else to ever feel like that. So that is why I do what I do. And that's why, we're growing Dani D Fitness and it is continuing to flourish and people are starting to see that all over the world. And that is so incredible, whether it's because of the tire flip video or it's because of me doing this wellness show with bodybuilding, or it's, because of the podcast or the events that we're putting on, just anything. It's like any way that I can incorporate movement, good fuel, and positivity into your life, like I want to do that. And even if it's just positivity for the one day, but it's fuel for the next day, or it's movement for the next day, like whatever it is, like I want to be that person for you. And yeah, and just keep it real too. It's not about like this whole journey with the wellness stuff, like, and even with the competition, like with the Get Your Movement Challenge, it wasn't about, focusing on being, the best or being like hating your journey throughout or, feeling depleted or whatever. Like it wasn't about any of that. Like all of this is about feeling like you're accomplishing something that you never thought you could do. Like the people in the challenge most of them have never done a challenge like this before in their life. First time to it. With my wellness, with my bodybuilding show, never have I ever done something like that before, So it's so cool that people are doing things and stepping out of their comfort zone and doing things for the first time ever. And that is what I love. Is I love like being like Move Fit at the Caldwell will be the first fitness pop up at that venue. That is so cool to me that I got the opportunity, was asked to do that. Whether it's been the first Shape Squad instructor with Shape Magazine in Nashville, like that is like so cool. Like I was the first one chosen from Nashville. Like So I love doing stuff like that. Like the first Move Fit event at Fifth and Broadway, like I am all about it. So anytime that, we can like tap into that and do things a little bit differently and add our style and add our things to it and set the precedent for, or the precedent for it. Like I love that. And it just, continually helps me raise even my own bar. But I will say I was having this conversation the other day with a friend, and we're on the phone. And he basically said, "Yeah, I saw your pictures. And like, yeah, you look great, but like, how are you doing that? Like, how? I don't understand." Because he said, we were hanging out like 4 years ago or whatever, and you literally said, when we were out at dinner, that like, yeah, you're like on a strict program, and you do all this stuff and whatever. I was like, when I look back at it, I said, yeah, I mean, I've pretty much been on a program my entire life, um and he was like, "Oh, like, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like when people like quote unquote diet, like I've been put on diets since I was young. And then when I got to college, what helped me get back in track was like meal prepping and planning and you know what I mean? And some supplements and those things. And like, and then same thing, like, I mean, Vermont, I was more intuitive eating, but like I didn't feel my best. Like I wasn't, and I didn't have access to really like lift heavy there. It was more like hiking and walking and stuff, which is great. But I was also eating more and enjoying almond butter with maple syrup in it every day. I really wish someone would have told me that there was syrup in the almond butter. Like for real, it was so good that now that anytime I have almond butter ever again, I'm like, wow, this is the most bland, awful thing ever. But I had no idea. I had like 10 scoops of it a day. But anyway, so it's just funny. It's like when I look back, I'm like, man. And then when I came back, I got on this other plan and it was awful. And it was like 1,200 calories. And like, so it was like all that stuff. So it wasn't until I started doing strongman that I got into like a regimen of like balance and of like, of feeling like, okay, I can go have pizza, I can have fun and whatever, but also like I am going to have still meal prep and I am still going to focus. And so it is like, so if you've met me, whether it be high school, college, Vermont, here, there, whatever, like you probably have seen me always being on a plan. And to some extent, it kind of makes me sad, right? Because it's like, wow, what a world would it have been if I could have just woken up and never worried about my figure and never worried about what I ate or what I drank or whatever. And I just lived my life, and just casually, right? And didn't really have to take the preparation of time. But then I was like, well, you know, I used to make schedules when I was a little girl. I used to act like I was working as a little girl. Like that is who I am, hardworking, determined, and all that. So it's seamless when it comes to, oh, my food has to be prepped, or like, oh, so this has to happen. Like those things have to come to fruition and happen because like that is how I kind of operate anyway. So it all makes sense. So I know that's why God put me in this body and why, I have, done all the incredible things I've been able to do with this body, with lifting heavy and pulling trucks and pushing vans and flipping 500-pound tires and just, all of it, and setting the example of what strong females look like and feel like. And it's been so cool to see that. And so, when he brought that up, I was like, yeah, it's been kind of interesting, but it's more of like, well, I've tried a bunch of different things that didn't work. And now I'm working with a coach that's actually really good about changing my meals around and fixing my plan and doing whatever. And it's been really good, so far. So, you know, I'm doing that and I feel successful. And so that's what the season of my life calls for. The next season of life, I may have a personal chef, right? Like, who knows what might happen? Like, so it's just one of those where like, it's, you know, it's you don't know what's going to happen those seasons, but with me, fueling my body properly so that I can work out effectively and efficiently is the most important, and it has taken so many years. So that's why when people first start with me and they get frustrated about it not working after 6 months or a year, I'm like, I get it. Like I've been doing this. Like I've been trying different things, figuring out how, what the macros should look like, figuring out the quantity, the quality of food, all the things. Like what does my body reject that other people's body doesn't reject? It's like we all are so different. There's so many things, hormones, everything, like your blood type. Like there's so many things that go in. It's your sleep patterns, like your lifestyle, with your family, your stress levels, like all of it that goes into how you lose weight, how you put on muscle, all of that. So I really do feel like this is such a good season of time for all of us to kind of reassess and be like, okay, cool. I tried this, it didn't work. I tried that, it did work, and like piecing it together. And that happens different for everybody at different ages. That's why like all my clients are all different ages, but they all seem to really align right now on the same path of like they are finding something that works for them and they're rolling with it. And I love that. I admire that. I think that that's so special. Um, because every single person that I have is different. Like no one is on the same meal plan. No one is, getting the same even meal prep company. I don't think like I mean they're all doing different things and different, whatever. So it's great. And I love that. And it really shows that they are finding a real realistic healthy lifestyle regimen for themselves. And that's always what I say is that I want for myself too, is to find something realistic. And for now, that's what this is. And I love that I have a coach to help me with it. I always say that trainers need trainers and coaches have coaches, and it's great. And it takes kind of the mind. I mean, it's not mindless, but it helps to have one less thing to think about when you're already, running a business and you're already trying to grow and you're trying to do all these things. And then, you just have a plan and you follow it. And then same with your workouts and stuff. So that's why when the average person doesn't understand your journey or doesn't understand why you're doing this challenge or doesn't understand why you care if your, quads are strong, you know what I mean? Like it's none of their business. That's fine. Like they're not going to understand. And I will tell the story before I let you guys go. But my client said something to the effect of her roommate had an issue kind of with her working out with me. And the client was like, it's just so frustrating because she like doesn't work out, whatever. And she always complains and says like, oh, why would you waste your money on that, whatever. And then 6 months now, like here we are, and her roommate got a trainer. And it was so funny because she was like, I can't believe all that smack that she talked about trainers, all this stuff, whatever. And like now she has one, which again, that's great that the girl is now getting her movement in. That's awesome. Like congrats on that. Hopefully it's for the right reasons, right? But it was so interesting. She said, I'm so glad I never listened to what she said. Like I never took what my roommate, the person's like living with me, seeing me all the time, whatever, cared what she thought or changed my goals because of what she thought, because then now she's got a trainer she's working with. And so it was really special to hear, all the positive things that then my client went on to say about like, why she loved working with me specifically and like, and all that. And then like that is just, I don't know. I was like speechless when she said it, like all the things. And it really meant a lot. And it really validated, because again, it's not about like needing validation, but is it nice to have some sometimes, especially in a world where everyone is continually doubting what you're doing and everything? 100%. Like I'm very confident as a person and confident in my business, but like I'm more confident. Yeah, I'm so confident with Dani Fitness. Like it's ridiculous. Like I love it, but it's just funny that how people can still think, well, like, oh, well, you don't really need positive affirmations or need that like that boost. But I love that because it makes me feel closer to you, whether you're someone that just watches my stuff online or, is a client or whatever. Like that's how we bond because like I'm going through it with you. Like I am fighting for what I want. You're fighting for what you want. Like I can resonate with that. I can respect anybody that's out here grinding and fighting for what they want. And so yes, I'm excited to, announce this weekend. And we'll announce the winner next week on the podcast, but let you guys know, but make sure to tune in to the Instagram and everything and check out who wins and everything and our three winners. And I think all of them won, truthfully, truth be known, like they all were great and they all worked hard. And if you haven't, go check out my stories and my highlight reel. You can look at it's GYMI, so Get Your Movement In Challenge on there, and you can see all of them and all the things they did all these past 10 weeks and posting and just like being accountable. And it was super cool to watch. And I'm excited for the next one. So stay tuned. Until next time.